Hey, what's up, everybody? Back with another live stream video. I'm so glad to be back with you once again. I've had a very busy day. Awesome. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I just got some good news that I will share um, outside of YouTube land. But thank you for joining me here. If you are here, we're going to be talking about transitions and how there have been some things that have been showing me that I for one am in a transition period. And some of you all you have seen me make some pivots, particularly on this channel. The recent pivot moving from hyper consumerism to productivity, what it means to actually be productive, and going on that particular journey through this channel about that. And so there's some other transitions that have been popping up recently that I want to take the time to share with you all. We're going to get into that. But first, make sure you hit the like button, all right? Make sure that if you're here, leave your feedback. If you're in the live chat right now, let me know that you're here. If you're in the comment section, feel free to leave your comment and feedback. I will always answer back. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that way you are alerted every time there is a new video that comes up. And today, as you can see, I don't have um, my cap on. So um, there's that, right? So I want to take the time to share with you all as we are entering into Libra season. For those of you who are anyone who knows about the zodiacs and you know um, Libra season is here. It started earlier today, September 23rd. Hey Lawanda, good seeing you. Good to see you. Um, and we're also in the beginning of fall. We're in the autumn season now. It's finally getting cooler. Thank God, especially here in the South. We need some coolness going on around here. Um, so we're in that particular period. Very recently, um, if you're somebody who is Judeo-Christian, you know that we have entered into we're in a particular New Year season. We just passed through Rosh Hashanah, which started this year on September 15th. The celebration lasted September 15th to the 17th. So that's the New Year on the calendar, which is a lunar calendar. And so there's that transition period there. Starting tomorrow, um, evening will be the Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement. And I think that even that is pretty timely. I think that's also a transition period there. But that's well, no, it's important. So there's a transition period as far as the Day of Atonement of sins and being able to fast and being able to um I I guess a time of solemn reflection over the sins that you have done and being able to um, admit those types of transgressions and things like that. So that particular time period that will start tomorrow. What else? Oh yeah, so this particular Jewish year that has come up is 5784, which is known as the year of open door, and all the stuff that's there. If you even care about that type of stuff, but that's good. I mean, like I can explain that, but if you don't care about it, I don't want to spend the time to explain that stuff to you, and you don't care about it because it's going to bore you. But basically, this is a time of just kind of like in itself is like a transition period because it's moving from one portal or one gate or one area and moving into another. And also my birthday's coming up. My birthday's gonna be in just a couple of days. I'll be 34 years old. And I'm excited about that. Um, and that'll come on Monday. Yeah. So there's so many different in this particular incident, and particularly when it comes to like this calendar year and just the season in general, it's usually a time of even the fiscal year. The fiscal year is when you know, the everything regarding taxes and bidding and things like that. That's when it starts for this particular year. It starts in the fall. We think that it starts in the actual year, January, but no, they actually start from the fall, from fall to fall. So that's the fiscal year cycle, right? I think sometime in October is when they start. So there's a whole lot of different transitions that is just like it's happening, just in my life. And I don't know if that's happening in your life right now. Everything that is just saying that this is this a kind of transcending period. Now, for those of you that know, you know that I'm into, metaphysics. I've learned how to pay attention to how certain spiritual things happen in the body, in the physical world, and how that translate into things moving supernaturally, right? And so I'm just in this period where I can kind of see how things for me personally, I don't know if it's for anybody else, are really moving into this new phase, like a new, I don't want to say a new beginning, but kind of like a metamorphosis, kind of like a transformational period where things just kind of like you're into this new period where certain things could just, evolve from where you stand, and evolve from where you're going. The pivoting and redirection that can lead to growth or lead to a transformation, lead to a new experience. Um, and what really kind of got me started into that was I've been following this channel called CEO Drive Her. The YouTube the YouTuber who has that channel is known as Kimberly Bradley. She's basically a Christian, so she talks a lot about Christianity and things like that, along with things for entrepreneurship, business, current events, prophetic stuff, and things like that. And one of the things that she had said was to pay attention to, like, as we're in this particular, what's known as this new year, new season, this transition phase, pay attention to the transition that's going on in your life. And this particular period, I find it very interesting that my birthday sits in the beginnings of the autumn season. And the autumn is pretty much kind of like the beginning harvest season for a lot of cultures, and even here it's a particular harvest season. And I wanted to share with you all something that I had wrote I had written down, and I want to share with you all, just to see what you guys would think. Um, I have no idea why I'm sharing this on my YouTube channel, but I'm just simply following it. And I hope anybody who is feeling the way that I feel is able to gain something from it. All right. Hopefully, it'll mean something. Um, so it says this weekend is one of significance for me for many reasons. Today marks the beginning of the autumn/fall season of 2003 here in the United States. Also at church, we acknowledged Rosh Hashanah last week, which is the celebration of the new year according to the Jewish lunar calendar. According to that calendar, the year that's been celebrated and what we've entered into is 5784, which is named the year of open doors. And tomorrow, there will be an acknowledgement of Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement for sins committed in the previous year. However, the most significant one is this: in a couple of days, my birthday will come. Now I will be in a new chapter and phase of life, chapter 34. Monday is when I will see a transition into my mid 30s, and seeing what's in store for the upcoming particular season of my life. Um, so I'm actually going to skip that because that's something more private. Um, it says there's a lot of transitions that are happening to and for me right now, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. However, as I pass through them, I want to share something that I believe is important for us to understand. When I look back over my life, I realize how entitled and egotistical I had been, believing that every change would work for me because I needed it, or because I was tired of things not always changing for me like I wanted it to. I wanted things to be super obvious and somewhat easy for me, to enter into a season of change, but it never happened because I never prepared to truly pursue it. If there's anything that I have learned up to this point, it's this: Change and transitions are inevitable in life. They happen to everyone in ways we may or may not be prepared for. However, how favorably these changes and transitions come depends on how willing you are to intentionally utilize and maximize each of them to your advantage. Birthdays may come as you get older. Seasons may come as the world transitions. New Year's may come as we prepare for another set of cycles. Doors may open for more possibilities and opportunities to be explored. However, if you don't embrace and engage in these transitional periods of change like you should, it'll all just simply be another day in which you stay in the same personal cycle that you've always been in. So, in this new transitional phase of life, I encourage myself, as well as you all, to properly and actively engage in the changes that you want and need to see happen in your life. Nothing changes until you make changes towards the life you believe you deserve. So I want to take some time to really focus on this transitional period and the idea of nothing changes until you make changes towards the life that you believe you truly deserve. Um, as I was saying in that monologue, I've always been someone who thought that if I do enough, change just happen for me. And, I can just simply grow and prepare for the change that I really wanted to have. But the reality is, life does not work that way. Life does not favor those who just kind of sit and wait for things to happen, especially when you're in a transitional period where things can change for you, right? But if you're not actually going out to make changes and make things happen for yourself, if you're not willing to engage, if you're not willing to prepare yourself in life, these transitional moments will come and go, and you'll be in the same position that you once were. Um, so it when I really took the time to look back over my life on that, especially in this particular phase, I realized in the past I used to beat myself up a lot because I didn't. There were these times where I would want things to happen for me and they didn't. Not even recognizing how entitled and self-centered that I really was, um, and not really making an active pursuit to really go after those things. And I don't know if that's anybody else. I don't know if anybody has ever really felt that way before. I don't know if there's anybody who feels as if, you're owed something, or you're owed change, or you're owed something of progress. And, you feel like you've missed out on something because it just didn't come your way. I want to take the time to tell you that you can make yourself feel prepared as much as you want. But the truth of the matter is, if you're not taking the time to really become the opportunity that you seek. You can be upset about it if you want to, but being upset about it is not going to make anything happen for you. The only way that you're ever going to have anything going on in your life is if you actually move within the transitions that are happening within your life. The only way that you're ever going to become if the only way you're ever going to have something that is going to mirror the possibilities that you want to have is if you actually engage in the process where those things can happen. Now, when I talked about productivity and moving away from hyper consumerism, hyper-consumerism conditions us to believe that things are going to always be there for us, so that way that as we're taking these things in that is already presented to us, the people are always going to be there to have support, or situations that have always come to us easy are going to always be there, or they because we've just gotten so used to it, we don't see ourselves pushing and moving forward for ourselves, and so we get stuck there, we get complacent. If you ever want anything new to happen in your life, you have to go after the things that are required for you to go after that thing. You have to be able to be in pursuit. You have to be able to um, be the person while you're in that transition phase to go into that direction. You have to redirect yourself. You got to pivot. Um, so I guess this is me sharing this, especially since this is probably going to be the last video that I have in the current age that I'm in before my birthday gets here. And really taking the time to understand the phase that I'm in right now. This very important phase that I'm in right now where I have to make some decisions and really decide what type of path that I'm going to be walking on for the future. For anyone else who has been in that transitional period, wherever you are in your life, particularly in this season, if you're in this fall season, if you are particularly Libra, and you are in that phase, this is a wonderful way to reflect and really start thinking about what is it that you really want, and are you saying that you want it, or are you really being the person that is going after it? Because saying it, acting as if you're wanting it, but not really pursuing the things that require you to go after it, is not enough. And I'm hoping that with this conversation, it's actually preparing you or making you consider being in the space of not just simply wanting it, but believing that you can have it and that you're actively going after it. There's this quote that I love, and no, I know people have issues with Oprah. I have my own issues with Oprah Winfrey, but there's one quote that she said that is so powerful to me when she says, "You don't become what you want because so much of wanting comes from the space of what you don't have. You become what you believe is possible for you to have or to do or to become. You believe whatever you see to be possible." A lot of the stuff that we are wanting and we desire, we can say that we want them, but if our belief system isn't matching that that desire, and that belief doesn't just become what we say, it comes from how we act. If we're not really engaging in what it said that we are wanting, do we really believe it? And if you are in this phase in your life where you are having to look at yourself and you're having to look at your decisions and you have to make some critical reflections and decisions in your life where these the choice that you make can impact your tomorrow. If you are someone who is constantly holding yourself back, you'll keep getting the same thing that you've always been getting, and you'll be going through another cycle saying, beating yourself up, wish you had this, wish you had that, and trying to wait for some other period that will give you the permission that you believe is going to give you the permission, I should say, to go after what you want. In reality, there's nothing like that. There is nothing that's just going to give you anything unless you are actually willing to do what it takes to pursue it. Make the choice to pursue it. Let this transition period, I know I'm saying that for me, but it may not be for you, but for anyone who is in a transition period, let this phase help you to decide what it is that you are willing to go after. Don't just want it, go after it. All right. So that's it. That's all that I wanted to share. Thank you for listening to this little monologue. I hope that it was able to be insightful for anyone listening to this. I hope this meant something to any one of you all, to anyone who's listening to this. It meant something to me, especially as I've been having a very serious reflective period before my birthday gets here. Um, and I wanted to be able to share with you all. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Leave your feedback, leave your comments below. I really appreciate it. Shout out to CEO Drive Her for having me to reflect upon this particular time period. Shout out to Q, the Eclectic Tarot, who gave me that advice to take a step back from doing things on social media. It has really helped out a lot, and that along with this reflective period that I'm in, it has really helped out. When It's really helped out a lot for this particular time period. I really appreciate that for Q the Eclectic Tarot, and thanks to all of you who have been able to be a part of this particular journey on my channel. I know I had a conversation with Femi from the chat earlier today about mediocrity and being content, the difference between the two, the ideas about that and stuff. So shout out to Femi from the chat. Appreciate you very much. Thank you to Lawanda, Andrea. There's so many people that I could name that have been very supportive for me up to this point. I just want to take the time um, to say thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Um, My birthday is it's on the 25th. And so it's coming up in just literally a couple of days. All right. So it's literally a couple of days. So you'll be able to wish me. I'll be sending, I'll be letting you know exactly when my birthday is, so that way that you'll be able to send your birthday wishes. All right. So thank you very much. And again, if you're new here, make sure you hit the like button and click the notification bell so that you are alerted every single time that a new video comes up. And I will catch you guys next time. I hope you were able to gain something from it. Catch you later. God bless. And stay awesome. All right.